Hi and welcome to Vintage Doll Collector. This video is part 4 of the dolls, toys, and other kids stuff in the 1963 Montgomery Ward Christmas catalog. If you haven't seen the first 3 parts, you can find links in the description box. Let's get right into it. These 2 pages are sewing and craft items. Some items are doll related and others are just all-around creativity. The sewing machine on the left takes 2 D batteries. It has a foot pedal and light, just like Mother's. It comes with a pre-cut, high-fashion doll trousseau to make clothes that it says will fit Barbie, Tammy, and similar-sized dolls. Shoes and accessories are also included. Since Barbie and Tammy don't have the same size feet, I'm curious to know which shoes were actually included. The 3 sewing machines on the right are change-stitch models, imported from West Germany. The red one is a plug-in electric model. It has a tension knob to enable sewing on different types of fabric. There are a few age recommendations in this catalog, but this says for 8 years and up. The other 2 machines are hand crank models, with clamps to secure them to the table. The only apparent difference is that one has a wooden base. Below the sewing machines are pictured 3 sewing sets. The green one on the left is an embroidery kit that includes a patterned cloth centerpiece and 6 matching napkins to cross-stitch, plus the floss, hoop, thread, thimble, scissors, needle, and needle threader. The plastic train case has a metal mirror in the lid, and the description says it can also be used as a lunchbox. In the center is a wicker sewing basket with everything you need to start stitching or embroidering, including a pin cushion, tape measure, and the other notions listed with the embroidery set. On the right is a doll sewing kit, which I believe is Transogram's Little Miss Model set. It includes a 6-inch hard plastic doll with sleep eyes, 18 dresses ready to sew, and everything you need to finish them. The hat box case is plastic. Here are some more cool crafting kits. I would have loved this stuff when I was a kid. The Quick Knit appears to be a simplified knitting machine. It says any little girl can make coverlets, sweaters, and countless other things for her doll. It also comes with 3 balls of wool yarn, pattern book, and instructions. Have you ever used one of these? The Pom Pom Pet set makes yarn pom-poms with instructions to sew them together and decorate them to create fluffy little animals, including a penguin, rabbit, chick, and more. That looks like fun. The weaving loom on the bottom left is described as a Ward's exclusive. It has differently spaced teeth on either side to make 2 sizes. I remember using looms like this to make pot holders. They still make similar ones today. On the bottom center is the Marks Easy Weaver loom, made of wood-grained plastic. It operates like a real loom, with a shuttle, harnesses, warp strings, and spacing wires. I remember wanting one of these when I was a kid. The little red spinning wheel on the right was made by Remco. Although it says it's an authentic reproduction, it doesn't actually spin like a real spinning wheel. Instead, you put in regular yarn and it comes out as finished braid, which can be used to make all kinds of projects, including hats, scarves, purses, and even rugs. This weaving loom is made of wood, not plastic. It's a little bit smaller than the Marks Easy Weaver, but much less expensive. It weaves a strip about 6 inches wide. On the upper right is the Nitwit Fantasies Set. I wish the picture was better so we could see the details. I'll read you the description. Makes continuous rows of yarn rosettes, 30 to 45 per hour. Slip them onto chenille wires to form cuddly storybook animals in minutes. It comes with enough yarn and materials to complete 12 items. There was also a smaller Nitwit set which could make square and diamond shapes as well as rosettes. Knitting for Barbie comes with 5 balls of wool yarn, special knitting needles, and accessories, dolls not included. These play cosmetic sets are just what a budding Miss Universe wants, according to the catalog. The beauty parlor set in the upper left is a Ward's exclusive. It includes a plastic vanity with removable hand mirror, toy hair dryer, vinyl cape, brush, comb, curlers, and more. The 2 cosmetic sets below that are smaller sets at lower price points. The Barbie Glamour cosmetic set on the upper right has a mirror and more than 20 items to make a little girl feel as grown up as Barbie. Includes 3 shades of lipstick and nail polish, rouge, bath powder and dusting powder, perfume, and more. On the lower right is the treasure chest of jewels in a blue plastic jewelry box. It includes a heart locket, 2 bracelets, earrings, pin, hair clip, barrettes, mirror, and comb. What little girl wouldn't love that? The battery-operated hairdryer for little girls and their dolls takes 2 D batteries and blows cool air. It comes in a carrying case with comb and brush. For my younger viewers, this is what real hairdryers looked like back in the 60s and 70s, before blow dryers became the standard thing. Doctors and nurses, both military and civilian, were major role models for kids in the early 1960s. The Combat Medic and Combat Nurse Kits each came with a plastic helmet, vinyl bag, plastic knife, and other items. The Combat Field Medical Station on the right came with over 30 play items, including a rolling steel cart, magic plasma bottle, stethoscope, forceps, thermometer, and more. Ben Casey was a TV series that ran from 1961 to 66, starring Vince Edwards as a young neurosurgeon. The catalog offered doctor and nurse kits at 3 different price points. The $1.69 economy kits on the right had a small plastic case with candy pills, plastic stethoscope, microscope, hypodermic, and other items. The mid-price sets at $2.69 had a larger case with even more play medical equipment, including an eye chart, cake of soap, scissors, and more. For the economy and mid-price sets, it's not really clear if there's any difference between the doctor and nurse sets other than the name on them. The deluxe sets, shown on the left and priced at $3.99, appear to be the same as the mid-price sets, except that the doctor kit also comes with the Ben Casey uniform, nose shield, armband, and other items. The nurse kit comes with the nurse's uniform, cape, cap, armband, and hot water bottle. Now here's a real nurse's outfit. It included a washable white cotton dress with a belt, navy blue cotton twill cape with insignia and red trim, a white cap, red name tag, and a plastic shoulder bag. Available in small, medium, or large. The Barbie Nurse Kit didn't include a Barbie doll, but it did have a pink plastic nurse bag containing a hat which looks to be made of cardstock, plus medical equipment including plastic forceps, reflex hammer, stethoscope, utility jars, hot water bottle, etc. This set was made by Pressman and is an extremely rare item today. They also made a smaller set which had the hat but not the pink bag and had fewer pieces of equipment. Talking toys were all the rage in 1963, and this page has quite a few. Casper the Talking Ghost is 15 inches tall and has a hard plastic head and terry cloth body. I actually was offered one of these very recently, and he still talked, which was really cool, but his body was very dirty, and I didn't know if there was a way to clean him without messing up the talking mechanism, so I didn't buy him. He was made by Mattel, as were the other 2 dolls here. Maddie the Talking Boy is more commonly known as Maddie Mattel, and the girl doll is Sister Belle. They also have hard plastic heads and are 17 inches tall. They had been out for a couple of years at this point, but they must not have been big sellers if they were 50% off. These 4 were also made by Mattel. Talking Bozo the Clown looks a bit different here than the way he was actually produced. The production version doesn't have the red pom-poms or the red trim on his collar, and his feet are black instead of white, and his face is also a bit different. He has a vinyl head with orange yarn hair. Beanie and Cecil, the 2 in the middle, were sold separately, although they were characters on the same TV show. Talking Cecil the Seasick Sea Serpent is plush with felt features and those moving disc eyes, and he's quite heavy, with the shipping weight listed as 4 pounds 12 ounces. 18-inch Talking Beanie, by comparison, is just 3 pounds. He has a vinyl head, hands, and feet with a cloth body. His molded hat has a propeller on top, which is usually found broken off. Beanie and Cecil were also made in non-talking versions. Talking Bugs Bunny is 26 inches tall, with a vinyl face and vinyl hands, with one hand holding a molded carrot. He was Mattel's most popular talking toy and was made in various sizes and versions over the years. Here's Cecil again. This version is a bit smaller and doesn't talk, but he's wired so he can be posed in different positions, and comes with 15 different pieces to create different disguises. 13-inch plush Smokey the Bear was made by Ideal and comes with a plastic hat and plastic shovel. The vinyl badge on his chest is not removable, but his nameplate belt buckle can come off if a child is really determined. It's animal time, with plush pets of every size and shape on the next 2 pages. These cuties are all musical. The pink flip-flop cat, shown at the top, could be posed in many positions. The pink elephant has moving disc eyes. The brown and orange bear on the left was available in 2 sizes, 12 inches and 19 inches. The smaller size was also available as a black and white panda. With the musical turn-a-tail lion, pictured at lower left, you crank his tail to wind up the music box. The fluffy white lamb nods her head as the music plays. The hound dog has pretend tears rolling down his cheeks. I wonder if he played a sad song. The roly-poly musical dog wears a jaunty beret. The Shaggy Dog on the left is 29 inches long, big enough to sit on. The $1.99 Honey Bear and Panda in the center have squeaker voices. The standing bear below them is somewhat unusual. He's described as imported, so he may have been made by one of the German companies. The brown and orange bear on the right is a whopping 34 inches tall. If his face looks a little different, it's because he has sleep eyes. I don't think I've ever seen that in a stuffed animal. They're very tiny compared to the size of his head. The crazy character pillows are 12 inches across, and you could choose from a clown, tiger, or panda, although the panda looks more like a dog, don't you think? It wasn't unusual to have plush animals made of real fur back in the day. It was a different time. The Fireside Cat at top left was available in 2 sizes. She and the basket of kittens were both made from rabbit fur. The kittens came with a feeding bottle, just in case you didn't have a mama cat. The mother dog and puppy were made of Spanish lambskin with plush trim and vinyl noses. The Cocker Spaniel with the big red bow is also lamb's wool. Here are some more pets big enough to sit or ride on. The dapper dog Hasek at the top made a good place to sit or put your feet up. The Ryden Bear has 4 swivel casters so he could go in any direction, and also has a leash so he can be a pull toy. The sturdy horse on wheels has a handle across the back of his head for steering. He stands 22 inches tall. The sleeping dog is the same size and shape as the Shaggy Dog we saw earlier, but is made of less expensive fabric, making him considerably cheaper. The zany zoo full of miniature animals came as a set of 12. They look like the Dakin Dream Pets, which were very popular at the time, but for this price, I suspect they are knockoffs. What do you think? The next 2 pages have a few plush animals, but are mostly about puppets and marionettes. The leopard is about 18 inches long and has green eyes and a collar. The fox terrier on wheels has a squeaker voice and a lightweight hollow body covered with plush. Ruff is the puppy's name. He's yellow and brown with a black pom-pom nose. The white cat on the lower right is Musette, described here as the movie Glamour kitten. She was the main character in the Warner Brothers animated film Gay Paris, which came out in 1962, with Judy Garland doing the voice of Musette. According to Wikipedia, it got good reviews but was a box office bomb. The plush version is about 15 inches tall and has felt eyes with a rhinestone stud in one ear. Here's a shot of Musette from the movie. Next we have some ham puppets. The 2 on the left are called Billy Goons. They're a bird and an alligator, and they were created by Bill Baird, who was a famous puppeteer at the time. If you remember the Lonely Goat Herd puppet show from the movie The Sound of Music, that was done by Bill Baird and his wife Cora. The 4 puppets on the right are Disneyland characters: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Pluto. As you can see by the prices, hand puppets were an affordable toy for families on a budget. Shari Lewis was another famous puppeteer who created and starred in several TV shows from the 1960s into the 1990s. Her 3 puppets are Charlie Horse on the left, Lamb Chop in the middle, and Hush Puppy. This set comes with a record of Sherry doing the voices of the characters. This puppet theater, 54.5 inches high, is made of cardboard with a plastic curtain, just the thing you need to put on your own shows. In the early to mid-1960s, Mattel made a series of pull-string talking hand puppets with vinyl heads and cloth bodies, including these two, Bugs Bunny and Mr. Ed. I think, as the catalog picture suggests, these were meant more to entertain young children than to be used by them. These cartoon character marionettes were the next step up for budding puppeteers. They all have vinyl heads. Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear on the left were made by Knickerbocker. The rest of their bodies are cloth and they're 12 inches tall. It doesn't show the controllers in the catalog, but these two had a push-button style controller. Mickey, Donald, and Popeye are 13 inches tall with hard plastic hands and feet. They were made by Gund with a one-hand controller that sounds a little trickier to operate. Charlie Clown on the right is still more advanced with a two-hand controller and a moving mouth. He's a little bigger also at 16 inches tall. He was made by Hazel. Junior Ventriloquist had two dummies to choose from. Danny O'Day on the left was a character made famous by Jimmy Nelson. Danny and Nelson's other famous character, Farfel the dog, were spokes dummies for Nestle Quick. Danny is 30 inches tall with a vinyl head and hands and was made by Juro. He's the same one I used in my video on how to repair the pull-string jaw on these dolls. The red-headed dummy is Jerry Mahoney, who was a sidekick of ventriloquist Paul Winchell. He was also made by Juro, but is 32 inches tall and has better control with a movable head. He also came with the extra green outfit shown on the right. At $16.77, he was quite expensive. That's the equivalent of $146.10 in today's money. They also made additional outfits you could purchase for Jerry, although they aren't offered in this catalog. That's it for Part 4 of the 1963 Montgomery Ward Christmas Catalog. Did any of these items spark any memories for you? Let me know in the comments. The next section of the catalog has lots of Fisher-Price and Play School toys, so look for that video soon. Thanks for joining me today, and see you next time.